Canada Reads. Yeah, nice.
Look at this setup. Wow.
Nice. They have 3 cameras.
I know.
1,000 lights.
Yeah, this is exactly how I shoot my videos too.
Really?
Exactly. This is awesome.
Good. All right, so let's get started. And we want to know, first of all, what was your first job?
Ooh. My first job, besides being a terrible babysitter, I feel like that doesn't count, was actually working at Harvey's.
Really?
Yeah, I worked at the fast food chain Harvey's, and every time I tell people in LA that story, they have no idea what I'm talking
Harvey's
about.
Is, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'd go and sing the birthday song to people when it was their birthday.
Right.
Yeah, so I did all that.
You did the whole thing. What does it take to run one of the biggest social video channels on the planet?
Ooh, that's a good question. What does it take? No sleep is what it takes, first of all.
Really?
It takes a lot of persistence, and I think you gotta be a self-starter. You know, the thing about YouTube is there's no boss.
Right.
No one's gonna yell at me if I don't upload a video. No one's going to say, oh, video wasn't that funny. It's a system I've created, a brand new system, because I can't really look at anyone who's done this in the past and follow their footsteps. I'm very much so creating a new path.
So you have a method now. You've got a kind of an approach to it.
Yes, it's called insanity. It's called insanity, and it's constantly evolving.
Seems to be working.
Yes, but wait, what was your first job?
My first job, actually, I worked in the kitchen at North York General Hospital.
Oh, wow.
That was my first job. Peas, mashed potatoes,
That's
like
great.
that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, and what does it take to run a mega amazing thing like TIFF?
Takes a great team, first of all.
Yeah. Oh, dang, I should have said that. Yeah, also me, team.
You know, yes, team. You're a team. You have a team, right?
Yes, correct.
And you have to hire the right people, choose the right people, be able to kind of look into their souls when you're hiring. And then
I am loving everything you are saying right now. You know, I started making videos because I was sad, and it was my escape to try to be happy. And then it turned into this business out of nowhere, and so I had to learn about the analytics and the business side of things and management and agents, and sometimes I find myself drowning and I'm just making it up as I go along. So that's really cool
like
to
your
hear.
business school.
Exactly.
What movies have inspired you creatively?
Ooh, okay. Movies like Trainwreck. I'm a huge Amy Schumer fan. I think it's such a relatable quality those movies have, where it's like really laughing at all the embarrassing qualities we all have. And I also really enjoy a really great horror movie. Anything that evokes some sort of emotion. I know that's pretty vague, but if I'm watching a horror movie and you are making me feel like I'm anxious, I'm living for that. I love that. My dream is to be in a horror movie and kill someone. It is.
Seriously, really?
It is, because I feel like I wouldn't even need the wig.
Yeah,
I have
kind of
the hair.
scary. I can see that.
I know. I can do some weird things. Yeah.
Wow.
So I would love to kill someone.
Heard it here first,
You heard it here first. I would love to kill someone.
All right.
Well, what do you think makes a great film, though? Because you probably watched a lot of films.
I watched way too many movies.
How many films do you think you've watched?
I've probably watched easily 10,000 films.
Wow.
Probably more.
That's how many books I've signed.
I bet, right? Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think makes a good film?
It has to just move something in your stomach, you know? You're not in control of it. Where the movie is taking you someplace you didn't even want to go, then it's a good movie.
Ah, I love that. That's a great answer.
What about comedy? What makes great comedy for you?
For me, my goal is when I post a video, I want someone to watch the video and think, wow, I thought I was the only one that did this. And then I want them to share it with their friends and think, I thought it was just us that did this. I want to take all those elements that we experience every single day and exaggerate on them and make relatable content. I think relatable comedy is the funniest because laughing at yourself is way better than laughing at other people or at the expense of other people.
And if you see the types of whatever you do, then you recognize, because you know these people as well.
Well, what inspires you, though, when it comes to TIFF or film or whatnot?
You know, we have a mission at TIFF, which we memorize, essentially. It's to transform the way people see the world through film. I believe that. I believe that film actually can move people to open their minds, to empathize with people they never even thought they would, to see parts of the world they never thought they would, to kind of get inside characters that seem crazy or completely unlike you, and suddenly you find yourself relating. Same thing,
and
right?
Emotionally invested into them?
Exactly.
Yes. A lot of my best friends are fictional characters.
Really?
Yeah.
Like who?
Like, me and Katniss, we're like sisters. We're like sisters.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you watch movies over and over again?
Yeah.
Like which ones?
Okay, are you gonna judge me? There's
No,
no judgments.
no, there's
okay.
never.
One of my favorite comedy videos of all times is White Chicks.
Oh yeah.
I love that movie. The Homa Poodle. Homa Poodle. I could watch that 100 times.
That movie is just, I mean, it's a little bit crazy, but it's hilarious.
There's a lot of horror movies that I like watching multiple times.
Okay.
Especially watching with new friends that have never seen it before, because then I get interested in how they will react to things I know.
They don't know when to jump, but you know when they're gonna jump.
Yes. I'm a bad person. I like to watch other people react.
Figure that out,
no, I just think it's so intriguing how people how things can evoke emotion out of people. Even I get a little bit awkward when people watch my videos in front of me, but then secretly I'm kind of like, okay, what parts did they laugh at? And I'm just obsessed with getting feedback. You know, even when it comes to my live shows, I just want to know, what was your favorite part? What didn't you like? What really hit home? What didn't? So I really enjoy that.
And you respond to that?
I do. I do.
That.
I know the difference between a hate comment and critique. Yeah.
Okay.
If you're complaining about my hair, you're a hater.
Right.
If you're saying this joke wasn't funny, that's critique, and I can take that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's good to know the difference.
Yeah, it's good to know the difference. Yeah.
What do you think you have achieved in terms of opening a space for inclusion, for diversity, for just giving, especially young women, the opportunity to express themselves like you have?
Yeah, that's a great question. The great thing about the digital space is there's no casting agent by the upload button. You know, I can say whatever I like and deliver whatever message I feel is important and upload it to an audience that graciously is going to listen to me. And I think that's really, really powerful because nothing has to be filtered. And if I don't want to promote the highest, most expensive fashion, I won't. And if I want to say your stretch marks are cool, I will. And if I want to say that racism isn't cool, I will. And if I want to say I'm a feminist and proud, I will. And I'm encouraging people to stand up for themselves and have a voice, and the digital space lets them have that as well. You know, one of the best things someone has ever said to me was, I was so humbled to get the YouTube marketing campaign that put my face on a lot of billboards in Toronto and LA and New York. And a lot of people came up to me and said, you know, my little sister's growing up thinking it's completely normal for a brown girl to be on a billboard, and that is really special, and I didn't have that growing up.
That's right.
So that makes me feel really, really special.
That's new.
Exactly,
and you
it's
did
new.
it.
But speaking of diversity, and I'm sure you can agree, love Toronto.
Yes.
Huge fan. I think best place on the planet.
Definitely
I said
the
it.
best place on the planet.
What do you think it is about Toronto that births so much creativity and the artists that it does?
You know what it is? I think it's not just that we have people here from all over the world speaking hundreds of different languages. It's that we're listening to each other. You know, so I grew up. My family's from Barbados, but I went to Chinese restaurants, and I learned Bhangra dancing and all kinds of things while I was growing up. And I know you grew up in Scarborough, right?
Yes.
Which I think is actually like the hotbed of diversity on the planet. You know, represent.
What's up?
And you do the same thing in Scarborough, right? Like, you're not just with your own crew, but you mingle, right? You listen to their sounds, to what's important to them, the way they move in their bodies, all that kind of. You pick up their language,
Right.
And then we all have that together, and that's what makes us Torontonians, I think.
Yeah,
What do you think?
I always, people ask me this question of what is it about Toronto, and I always say my content wouldn't be what it is if I wasn't from Toronto.
That's right.
I have such a vastly universal audience because in my videos I make references to Tamil food or different types of music, soca music. And I'm able to use these references that are so universal. People will be watching my videos and think, oh, she knows about my culture. And they feel really special.
That's right.
And so that's why I'm able to tour in like Trinidad and Tobago and able to tour in the Dubais and the Indias and the Singapores because I feel like I have a great, great background in multiculturalism. And that's Toronto through and through.
That's right. So let's go to the lightning round. What is the toughest part of being a boss?
You have to make decisions that are difficult. It's just about doing what's best for the business. What do you think?
I'm not a boss, but I am a boss.
Okay. I think you're a boss for the record.
I don't know. For me, the toughest part is just communicating your vision.
Okay, who are your role models?
You know, I have to say my parents, my mom, Barry Jenkins, who directed Moonlight, and he always knew what he wanted to do, didn't compromise, and look what he got. An Oscar for Best Picture.
I love that.
You know?
Should never lower your standards.
That's right.
No compromises.
That's right.
I believe in that. That's why I'm single. Okay, who are your my role models?
For you.
Of course, my parents. I mean, immigrant parents came here, built something amazing. Dwayne Johnson is a huge inspiration for me. I think he's the perfect combination of hustling hard, but just being a great human being as well.
One last question.
Okay, let's do it.
Word of advice for future Bawses and bosses.
Ooh, word of advice would be that there are no escalators. If you want to succeed, you have to take the stairs. There's no get-rich-quick schemes. There's no shortcuts. There's no piggyback rides. It's just hard work, persistence, consistency.
Same.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Same.
Yes.
For the record, I'm going to say you are definitely a Bawse.
Oh, thank you,
as well
Lily.
as a boss.
That means a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Of
I really
course,
appreciate
this is
it.
so much
Thanks for coming
fun.
in.
Thank you.
All right.